What's up, guys? I've been going. Not really. Just not feeling it. Been kind of depressed, and basically I had to force myself to do this right now. It's just a lot of work making these fucking videos and editing this shit. What's up, guys? How's it going? I'm back trying to make another video. I gotta fucking force this shit out of me. I've been feeling depressed, pretty depressed, so haven't been doing much. But these videos, man, this shit's a lot of work too. So like Friday night, I was trying to get this shit done. I was trying to get videos put together and whatnot. And I got one uploaded just before midnight, and the other one I was like, fuck it, like I don't have time for this. So I went to sleep, and then on Saturday I was just depressed. Like I didn't really do anything that day. And then on Sunday, I think is when I finally got around to making that video and put it together, but I didn't make anything new. And then Monday, I didn't make anything new. Tuesday, I didn't make anything new. Here we are, Wednesday. Like, fuck, man. I just gotta force myself to do some shit, because me just laying in bed or fucking, you know, moping around, not doing shit is not good. Got a massage yesterday, though. That was nice. I'm not feeling as bad. Like, my body's not as in much pain or whatever. I'm gonna try to go every other week, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But I went ahead and dropped $360 on some massages and the tip for 1.5 hours. So that's cool. $60 for an hour and a half, 40 for an hour, 20 half hour. That's cool. But I guess so, like with the tip, I'm gonna be paying $72 for an hour and a half. Whatever, Yeah, so I've been feeling depressed. I'm like, man, I just gotta make these videos. And I've been watching a lot of Theo Von's podcasts. I mean, that's a funny dude right there. And on this last one that I watched, it's not the most recent one. I was going through watching some of the old podcasts that he had, and he's talking about his depression and how he's like not going out, and when you're depressed, if you don't go out and you're just like staying inside, you're not doing anything, and you're not trying to combat it, then it's just like, it's kind of like moss. It just keeps growing and growing. And he's got people that call into his podcast, and that's pretty cool, because he basically played all these stories at the end, and they were like, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, blah blah blah, like, or I've been through the same shit, or I'm going through this, and listening to your videos helps, or something like that, right? And just listening to that, like these positive oh, sorry about that, I'm back. Had someone trying to call. Like, that's another fucked up thing. So I've been trying to get a house, because I've been living with my buddy for the past 2 years, and I just gotta go do my own thing, let him do his thing. So I've been trying to find something, but fuck, man, I'm getting distracted and shit, because then I just got an email. Basically, I've been trying to get a house, right? And last night I came across one that was just a killer deal. I mean, it needed work. Like, the floor was ripped up, and it was completely outdated, and like I don't know if it's called like weather stripping or whatever, like that board up top when you're like outside looking, and then the roof comes down and there's that board going across. That shit was, needed to be replaced. So probably wasn't gonna go through VA, But what I'm getting at is it was such a good deal that I'm like, fuck, dude, I want this. I want this house. It was listed yesterday. It was on the market for 1 day, and it was in the neighborhood that I kind of grew up in. Not really, but it was like close enough. And so like I knew that area. I knew what's up. So then I looked to see what other houses they're going for. And basically like the same type of house and shit is worth like 240,000, and they're trying to sell this for 120. So I'm like, fuck, that's what's up. I'm gonna get this for 120, and then I'll just be making my payments or whatever, and when I can afford it, I'll fix up the place, right? Because I mean, I don't care, there's no carpet. I'll live on fucking concrete, I'll go through it. I'll buy the tiles and the fucking, I don't know, mortar or whatever, like spackle, whatever the hell it's called, the shit to put in between. I'll go through and do that back-breaking labor and fucking put a floor in. I'll rip those boards off, fucking put a new board on and paint it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll do that shit, right? The other thing that, like, I'm not gonna do is, like, I'm sure the AC is fucking super old, outdated, and that's gonna be expensive to replace. And it would be good to upgrade the electrical lines or plumbing lines or some shit like that, right? But maybe you don't have to. And so I'm thinking, hey, I could just get this house. Yeah, it's kind of ghetto, but I just spent a couple months like demoing it and like cleaning it out or whatever, like whatever I need to do, and then spent a couple months fixing up little pieces, and then next thing you know, within a year I got a livable house. Like, it's livable, but like it looks good, but that shit didn't work out. When they said fucking that shit's too good to be true, I mean, that's basically what this was. I was like, fuck, dude, I want this house, but I don't know if it's going to go through the VA loan, because they require all these, like, they basically want you to get, like, a turnkey house. But with me getting approved for, like, 100,000, like, 125, whatever, like, I'm not getting anything. I have to be spending at least, like, 150, 200. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I just want to do, like, as cheap as possible. If I could do under 100, I would, But I saw potential in the house. I'm like, fuck, dude, like, I could get this house. So I went through and online, I'm just, like, applying for all these fucking things. I went to, like, Lending Tree, putting all my information and crap. And I'm like, all right, let's try to get pre-approved for, like, a regular loan, see if I can get that. And yeah, I mean, I contacted this one realtor. So basically, I've been getting these people calling me all day and shit, and I had a realtor that they gave me through the VA loan process, and so I hit him up, and I was like, hey, like, what's up with this house? Do you think it could get approved, or do you think maybe I could get it through another conventional loan, or something like that? And he's just like, yeah, I mean, you're not gonna get this house. There's already 11 cash offers, and they're gonna take the cash offer. So basically, the house was being sold for 120. They got 11 cash offers, so they're gonna sell it for more than 120. And the person that they're selling it to is someone that remodels houses. They like fix and flip houses or whatever, I guess. I think he said it was an older couple that's been doing it a while. But I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, how am I gonna get in the game? These people snatch that shit up. That shit was there for 1 day, man. Not even 48 hours. 1 day. Maybe 36 hours, I don't know. That shit was just listed. I'm like, fuck, dude. Tell me how to get a house, man. Because I was thinking, I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm just going to have to go buy a piece of land up north. I saw like an acre for like $5,000, something like that. Like super cheap. And then buy a trailer for like $5,000. So I'm like, let me go get this piece of land where it's like 125 down, $100 a month, something like that. And then let me go buy this trailer. And fucking, I don't know, live out there, But then I was reading through, because I'm like, there's stuff you gotta do. Like, I couldn't really live like that full time, because you're shitting in the trailer and whatnot. You're gonna have to go empty it. And I'm like, fuck, I'm not trying to do that. So I got to get a septic installed as soon as possible. The septic probably going to cost a couple grand, like $3,000 to $5,000. So I'm like, that's not bad. You get that installed, and then you basically have a shitter. You could As long as you got water, you can shit whenever you want, you know? And it's just going to go to that septic tank. So that's not bad. But the bigger issue is the water. I'm like, to drill a well, that shit's like 5,000 to 20,000. Like, damn, dude. Like, if it's 5,000, cool, but 20,000, fuck that. I was looking like, can you dig your own well? That's just not going to happen. Tried digging 300 fucking feet into the ground. Nah, man. You gotta have some sophisticated equipment for that shit. I mean, I guess technically you don't, but you know what I mean. And then I was reading through on some of these forums, and they're like, yeah, you know, they basically did the same shit, right? They're like, oh, we bought land, we bought shit, went out there, and we had to move back to the city because we moved out there and did all that shit, but when they had to go to town to get, like, groceries or maybe the doctor's appointment or something, some fucking asshole comes through, he's like, oh, these people left, and they steal this shit. Because, you know, no one's there, you know, it's a big-ass piece of land, like, what you gonna do, right? So that made me think, like, fuck, dude, like, I'm gonna buy this land, I'm gonna get this trailer, and I'm gonna leave, I got doctor appointments and shit, like, my shit's gonna get stolen, and then I'm fucked, you know, like, damn, what am I gonna do? So that made me think, like, and then I started thinking, too, like, more like the Wild West. I'm like, dude, it's like Wild West out there, I might get shot or some shit. But it's probably less likely than here, me just, like, cruising around, some road rage or some shit happens, get shot. I don't know, that's one I'm like, fuck. You know, that kind of adds to the depression, too. It's like, I can't even get a damn house, man. It's like, I know what you're saying. You're like, fucking get a job, man. Like, I know, I need to get a job. You guys hiring? Fucking hire me. I'm not trying to work at, like, some fast food or some bullshit, but man, it's like damn, I don't know if you heard that shit. Oh yeah, and then on, like, Theo Von's podcast, he's talking about some Greyhound shit. I forget what he said. Some Greyhound stories or something. I don't know, but people were calling in. I wish I could do that, get some people to call in, but I don't want to put out my phone number, you know? I don't want people calling this phone number. So, I don't know if I could get some shit online and be like, hey, you know, call this phone number, and then it goes to an online number. Some shit like that, but that'd be cool to get some people to call in. Because I got my first comment. It was pretty cool. I recorded a video just talking about, hey, I have too much anxiety, and I think this was the day that I puked. I woke up with just a bunch of anxiety. So someone on the comment thing said, what they say, something like they feel it too. I don't know. I think it was a guy or girl. I don't know. But this person said that they had to, like, force themselves to eat and to work out, I think. And so, I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing. And I was like, maybe that was, like, overwhelming, because I've been, like, Thursday I had a doctor's appointment, so I had to go over there. Friday I had a doctor's appointment, and then I don't know if it was, like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I did at least, like, 3 days where I took dogs over to the park, or to, like, this big area. And then some weird shit happened, too, the last time I was over there. It's basically, you have a complex, a community, and then there's a big grass area when you turn in. And so I'm over there with the dogs, and this car turns into the area, like, to the complex, but then he stops right in the middle of the road. And I'm like, what the fuck, you know, like, what's going on? And it's like a gold 1980s Grand Marquis or some shit, I don't know, Oldsmobile, some shit. It was just one of those old boats, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then it seemed like he was trying to get out or trying to say something to me, or I don't know, dude. He was trying to do something, and I'm like, I'm ignoring you. Get the fuck out of here, you know? And then I'm thinking in my head, like, the fuck's this guy's problem? Like, what's he trying to say? Like, oh, I can't have my dogs over here, or I can't have my dogs off the leash, or clean up after my dog, or I don't know, right? I'm thinking all these things. And then I thought this guy was going to try to get out, but my dogs were off the leash, and so he's probably thinking like, man, if I do get out, those dogs are gonna come attack me, even though they wouldn't, but they would run over there, you know, but they'd be nice. And I'm just like, fuck, I don't know what this guy's problem is. So I just kneeled down and I called the dogs over, and I was just like petting the dogs, and then he finally left, and then I just walked home. I'm like, fuck, dude. But yeah, that shit happened. And then yesterday I went to get that massage, and I was a little anxious, but it wasn't too bad. And then, like right now, like I can feel it, but it's not that bad. I read that the massages help with PTSD and anxiety and stuff, so I don't know. That's where I'm at. So this Greyhound thing, yeah, people call in, and I'm like, well, fuck, dude. Like, I wish I could do that because I got Greyhound stories too. So I'm like, yo, call in, tell me your Greyhound story or some shit, right? And I have a couple calls, and I play them, and then I tell my story, and it just helps to add some variety, or, you know, add someone else's voice to this shit. But man, I don't even remember when it was. I just know I was probably... Alright, so my dad died in 2001, and he was on this trip. We took a Greyhound bus from Arizona to New York. Yeah, it was like fucking 3 days or some shit. And it was probably in like 1999. Let's say 98, I'd be 10. So I was somewhere around like 8 to 11 years old, something like that, right? And yeah, so, and then I got a sister born in 92, 93, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so at least like 98, 99, something like that, right? So I guess I wasn't 8, I'd be like 10, 11, something like that. And I got a little sister who's like 5 or 6, and a little sister who's like 7, and an older sister, something like that, right? So we're on this trip, taking this bus, and I'm just trying to think of some stories. Man, we probably took this bus because so my dad's side of the family is from New York, so I got some family out there, and I've been out there a few times, but not that often because, you know, we didn't have money or anything. So when we grew up, I said in another story, but we got in an accident in New York. My dad was driving a car, and we're on ice or snow or some shit, and he tries to stop. It doesn't. We smash in the back of a semi. But yeah, that was one of the trips. We went out there, and that was probably like, I don't know, like early 90s, because I know it was me and my older sister, but I don't know if there was like, I know my youngest sister wasn't around. Like, I don't know if my other sister was around. Maybe my mom was pregnant with her. I don't know. But we went on that trip, and so he's probably like, fuck that shit, I'm not trying to drive. So you take a Greyhound. And I mean, come on, man. Like, can you imagine a Greyhound with 4 kids? Damn, dude. But that's what it was. It was my mom, my 3 sisters, my dad, and me, all taking this fucking Greyhound across the fucking nation, man. Across the United States of America. And like, damn, dude. Yeah, so we take the Greyhound, and let me see, I remember I'm pretty sure something happened at the station. Like, I don't know, maybe someone was crying or something. Someone didn't want to go. I don't know. But we left the station. I don't really remember much, but I remember Texas. Fucking driving through that state forever. Take like a whole day to get through Texas, man. And then I don't know if it was on the way there or on the way back, but there's a couple things that I remember. I remember one time, I think this was on the way there. This was fucking cool. I'm a kid, right? And so my mom goes in. This was back in like, you know, late 90s. So I don't remember if they had cell phones or how that shit worked. But I think my mom was going in to use a payphone to call my grandma or something, like give her an update. So I went with her. So maybe it was my dad. Who the fuck went? I think it was my mom. I don't know, but so I think it was my mom. She went, and then I went with her, and she's talking on the phone, the payphone, right? And I'm just a kid fucking around, so I'm over at the snack machine, like the vending machine, and I'm just hitting buttons like beep 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 beep. And all of a sudden, like, I hit these numbers, and the product comes out, and I get changed. Like, basically, they were refunding me, I think, the value of the thing. So I'm getting the shit for free and getting paid back. So I'm just hitting all these buttons, and I start fucking collecting all this candy like this in my shirt. Like, oh, shit, man, I got a bunch of candy. And then I'm throwing all the change in my pockets and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. And I go back to the bus, and I'm like, yeah, they're giving out free candy over there and shit. And people are like, oh, damn. And they go over there to try to get some free candy and stuff. But I remember that, it wasn't too crazy because, it's like $40 worth of candy or something. But as a kid, you're like, damn, dude, like I got like $20-40 worth of candy, and I got like $20 in change. Like, that was cool. That was like a weird ass experience. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the Greyhound bus stops or some shit, but I had another thing happen with the Greyhound thing, because we were going and we stopped at one of the stations, and it was another one of those snack machine things, but somebody didn't lock it, and so it was just right there, and so I just opened it and fucking just grabbed some shit. I know that's fucked up, but I don't know. I did it. I saw the shit was open. I was like, all right. I don't know what's up with these snack machines, but I was eating some good snacks on that trip. The only other thing I remember, it wasn't on the Greyhound. I remember we had McDonald's. I had some chicken nuggets. I think that was in New York, but yeah, that was that with the snack machines, but that was cool. I remember just getting hooked up with snacks. I'm like, damn, dude. But that's probably what led me to fart, man. No joke. And some shit was like rotting in my ass, and I was trying to push that shit out. That shit was nasty. I didn't care, I was a kid, but I remember I'm just ripping it and ripping it and just ripping it. And everyone on the bus is like, God damn, what the fuck? And like my dad's like, man, what the hell? Like, some shit would crawl up your ass and die, some shit. But I remember it was just bad. They're like, man, go take a shit. What the fuck's wrong with you? And everyone on the bus like, God damn. They probably had to like switch buses. They're like, we gotta pull over at the next stop and switch drivers, switch buses. I can't handle this shit. I don't know. And the funny thing too is, I remember the only book that I had, or the only book that I remember, I was reading Captain Underpants. I don't know if you know what that is, but I just remember it looks like an egg, I think. But this guy looks like an egg, and he's dressed like in underwear or some shit and a cape. But it's fucking Captain Underpants, and I'm over there shitting my pants. Yeah, fucking gassing everyone out on that Greyhound. I remember too, my youngest sister, she wanted to get a drink of my water, so I gave her gave her my water bottle. And then I get it back, and like she was eating those fucking like orange crackers with like peanut butter or cheese or whatever. All of a sudden, like entire crackers fucking floating around in my drink. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? That's disgusting. Yeah, I think that's all I remember about that shit. That fucking gassing motherfuckers. I was lighting shit up. And that free candy, I remember that shit. That was cool. Well, one of them was free. The other one I stole. But the one I stole, I didn't steal as much as I got for the free shit. I just stole a couple. Took some shit and I bounced. But that free shit, that was cool, man. Ching, 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 ching. It's like a fucking slot machine. And you're getting candy. Damn, dude. I just thought, man, why don't they have that as a slot machine? You're playing like at Vegas and you get some candy or some shit. They're like, because I'm a fucking adult. I don't want candy. Dude, I would eat some candy. If you chilling there for like an hour or two, especially if you're drinking, man. Sometimes I like to eat some candy while I'm drinking. You know, that shit's fucking sour or tart or whatever. You're like, all right. You know, you take a shot, and then instead of chasing it, you just eat a sucker. Eat a Jolly Rancher or something. Man, I'll tell you this. If you got problems with alcohol, you turn this shit off right now because you don't want to hear this. But I'll tell you the best way to get drunk. Man, I don't know. I was like 20 something, but we went to this Halloween party, and I remember we bought one of, like, let's say like a fifth of vodka, but the fifth of vodka was like a fifth of, let's say a fifth of watermelon vodka, right? And then you go to Sonic and you get a large, like a Route 44 watermelon slushy, and then you get an extra cup, and you pour half that slushy in the extra cup, and you pour half that bottle in one cup, half that bottle in the other cup, and you give your buddy the cup, and you take the other cup, you mix it up, and you just go wild out at that motherfucking party. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. That shit was wild. I got so drunk. I remember this was back when I just got out the army, so this was probably like the first year back. I don't know, probably like my first Halloween. But I went just dressed as an army guy. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put my fatigues on or whatever. Just put on my uniform, right? And I'm like, fuck it, this is what I'm gonna wear. So I went to that party, and I remember some girl. I think she was dressed as a cop or something, but she said some shit like, you can't be what you are. Basically, I wasn't dressed up. Shit, maybe I was still in the army. This was when I came back. I was in the army, and I was back on leave. I don't know. I just remember that happened, like getting a slushy. And you, like, if you get the slushy, you get like a cherry slushy and cherry vodka, something like that. You just gotta match, right? I mean, I guess you don't have to. You know, you could have like a watermelon slushy and a cherry. You could have like a cherry watermelon type deal, but I would suggest getting them to match. We did watermelon. I did watermelon. That shit was so good. You're gonna get so fucked up on it. You're gonna be drinking it and be like, this is vodka? Like, really? And then you'll get to a part two where the vodka, sometimes the vodka will be at the bottom, and then maybe at the very end you just get some straight vodka, or maybe at the very beginning when the vodka is like floating on the top. You gotta watch out for that. But I'm telling you, if you want to get drunk, get you a fucking slushy from Sonic and pour some matching flavored vodka in there. You'll wild out, man. That's one of those pregame drinks where you're like, I'm gonna pregame this. I don't have to buy anything at the fucking club. I mean, that's what I used to do. We used to pregame, so that way you went to the club, you don't have to spend money, man. That's what those poor people do, you know? Because they trying to get you pay $12 for a fucking drink, $8 for a drink. Next thing you know, you're spending like $50, $100. Because, I mean, you go there, and usually the way it worked is like, we're all friends, we're all like hooking each other up. So you'd go there, and your buddy would be like, hey, what do you want? Hey, what do you want? And so usually they'll be like, what do you want, right? And so you're buying like 3 drinks, but then they'll get you back, you know, like either they'll get you back that night or like next time or something like that. Or maybe they paid your cover to get in, so they're like, all right, I'll buy you your first drink. Something like that, right? But, you know, sometimes it works out where you're like, okay, you know, you get in for free or you pay $5 to get in or some shit like that. And then next thing you know, you're buying 3 drinks and you're dropping like $20-$30 on your first transaction. And that's just one drink, you know? You're like, you have like 4 or 5 more drinks, like you're at $100. And you know, you can't, unless you come from a rich family or some shit, you can't keep that up like 2 or 3 nights a week while you're in college. Spend $200 or $300 a weekend. Nah, fuck that shit. Over $800, like $800 to $1,200 a month, just partying. Ah, dude, that's too wild, man. Motherfucking killer dogs. That's that super jack. Gotta smoke that sativa right now to keep me up. It's crazy. I'm feeling better just talking. I don't know. I'm feeling it too. Like I'm like, man, I'm feeling sad, but I think a lot of that has to do with not really feeling like I have a purpose. It's like, yeah, I could get a job, but basically any job that I've had since I graduated, it's not going to give me any real purpose. They were just contract jobs. Like, I was working quality assurance, you know, checking products. Basically, making sure you're not fucking up, you know, like. I don't know, man. You know, like, the army. See, one of these times, I think I'm just going to make a video me fucking doing that shit. So, I pause the video right now because I'm like, I got some, like, phlegm stuck in my throat. I'm just going to keep coughing. So, I got to, like, instead of just, like, like, you know, I got to force that shit, like, right? So, I pause the video and I cough. But, like, that's why I like weed, because, man, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to talk about why I like weed. Why I think that shit's good for your lungs. Like, maybe not good, but, dude, I think this is a workout for your lungs. You know, like, like, you know, and you're sitting there, like, laughing or whatever. You get that stomach pain. You know, if you're coughing and coughing, I feel like that's a workout for your lungs. But right there, I'm like, I gotta pause the video. I just gotta, like, cough real hard and force this shit. And then it's weird too. So I coughed a couple times, like, right, like 3 times. And then I'm like, all right, I'm good. But then I lean over and I basically, like, I push my right shoulder and back, like I torque it and tweak it or whatever, so that I'm trying to crack it. Like, I don't know, you can crack whatever the fuck you want, dude. Like no joke. Any bone connected to a bone you can crack. So, you got your fucking rib connected to your sternum. You can crack that shit. You know, you got your vertebrae in your back. You can crack that shit. You can crack whatever the fuck you want, man. You can crack your wrist. People are like, oh, you crack your knuckles. Like, yeah, no shit. Most people are like, oh, I'm too afraid to do that. But that's joint movement, man. Like, you're just gonna get stiff joints then. You gotta. I read a study. I'm gonna have to upload this on my computer, and then I'll come back. All right, I'm back. Oh man. See, that's the issue with this small memory. I gotta transfer that to my computer, and I wasn't sure if I could record while I was transferring, so I'm like, let me just be safe and transfer it and then record. But it fucks up my flow, you know, my train of thought. And another fucking crazy thing too is, see, so then I took another hit. I was like, fuck it. I'm like, I'm gonna sit here for like 5 minutes, you know, so let me smoke. So I smoked again. But that's another crazy thing. So I just did like 10 videos my first week, right? And that was like almost 50 gigabytes worth of data. I'm like, damn, dude. So I got that shit chilling on my computer right now. But I gotta get an external hard drive because that's intense, man. So I was looking at external hard drives and I found one on Amazon. It's a good deal. It's 4 terabytes for like $150, something like that. And I'm like, all right, that's good because I was looking at 1 terabyte, and 1 terabyte is cool, but it would only give me about half a month, because if I'm doing 50 gigabytes a week, well, that's my first week, you know? So like maybe it'll go down, maybe it'll go up, I don't know. But based on 50, that's only gonna last me like 20 weeks or like 5 months. So I'm like, four terabytes, $150. Like, damn, dude, like that's huge. So I think I'm gonna pick that up, and then I want to get another memory card for my phone, but I gotta figure out how that shit works, because I took my case off and I'm looking at it, and I think there's a way to open it and put one in. I hope there is, because this 30-minute video bullshit's not cool. It interrupts my flow, my train of thought. Because before I was like talking about, you know, when I'm smoking, it's kind of like an exercise for my lungs. And the thing is, some people are like I'm not gonna like cough, right? They try to like suppress it. Nah, man, not with me. I had my buddy say before, like, man, you sound like a fucking animal. Like, yeah, man, I am an animal. But I embrace it. I embrace that shit. I start coughing, and then I don't want to do it. I don't want to cough in your lung or like in your ear, but I want to make a video of that, because I mean, I don't know. I got some crazy thoughts. You know, like your glands right here. Let's see. Man, I was just thinking of some other shit too when I was upstairs, but fuck, man. I gotta get a house though. I feel like I could flip houses. I think it'd be tough, but I think it'd be cool. Like, just to do it slowly, you know, you buy the right house, and then you just, you know, like I said, do some flooring. Yeah, so I think I might be going camping this weekend. So I might have footage of that. I want to get out. It's kind of cold up there. It's like a high of 55 up in the pines or whatever. Up north Arizona. Up on the rim. But that's like, you know, it's like 55. I'm from the valley, man. I don't really understand what that's gonna feel like. Because right now, like in the house, you know, it's like 75. Put the AC on, 70 something. And so you're like 70 to 75, you kind of know the feeling, but that's another 20 degrees lower. And then at night, it's gonna get even colder. It gets down to like 35. So, but that I'm not too worried about. I got a sleeping bag. It's pretty dope. So I can get up in there, feel nice and warm. But yeah, I wanna get out the city, go let my dog run around, you know, enjoy some nature. So I think I might do that. And, you know, just lay there in a hammock, like, just relax. Try to think of some shit, like, man, because I was talking about, like, the Greyhound, but fuck, man, I don't remember what else I was talking about, or what I was thinking that I was going to talk about, or something. I got lucky yesterday too. Well, not lucky, I guess, but when I was coming back from my massage, I was on the motorcycle, and I was probably doing 80, maybe like 78 or something, and there was a motorcycle cop to the side of the HOV lane, like fucking right on the edge there, clocking people. And I'm like, dude, I see them do that shit, and that's so fucking dangerous, bro. Like, someone in the HOV lane is driving by, and you're like feet away from them. Like, dude, if they're just hovering on that line, they could fucking kill you. I don't know, some crazy shit. But anyway, it didn't even really matter because I wasn't in the HOV lane. I was like all the way over to the side. But everybody else was doing like 75, so I was good. But I was thinking like, man, he might come after me anyway because I'm a biker, you know? Like, that's just what they fucking do. But nope, he didn't come after me. And then I got over to the right. And when I got over to the right, like a truck with a trailer cut me off. So then I had to downshift. And then like the bike was like really loud. And then the exit was like right there. So I got off. And I was like, I was sitting there like at the exit too. Just like looking in my mirrors. Just like, fuck, man, this guy's gonna pull up on me and like light me up, right? But he didn't. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I was just cruising. But I was doing like over 75. But everyone else was, you know, doing the same shit. So that was good. And then, yeah, I realized because, like, when I left and I had to go to the bank to get some money. And then I was headed there. And then I realized, like, I didn't have my earplugs and that shit. Then I was like, I can't fucking do this. Like, I don't know how people ride without music. Like, the earplugs, I'm like, all right, whatever, you know, I'm doing my thing. But I wish I had music. I just gotta get some good headphones. I can never find good headphones. I had Beats before, like, I had Beats and then my phone was in my pocket and when I pulled it out, I think like the jack got bent and then so it just got fucked up. And I exchanged those for another pair, but then the other pair, one of the headphones stopped working. And I don't know, it was just shit. And I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm done with Beats. And then I had some other shit. And I don't know, the most recent one I had, I lost. So, fuck it, you know, whatever. But yeah, I gotta get some more headphones. I don't know if you heard that crack, but that was my ankle. I'm telling you, you can crack any fucking joint you want. You can crack your knees. You can crack your hip. I once had a chiropractor. I went to the VA when I first got out the army, and this dude, he had one of these things like, imagine like you're holding something and you could push down with your thumb and you're providing like leverage with your other two fingers, and like he was behind my ear. He just like, I don't know what the fuck he did, but he pushed something and I don't know, like, he was like behind my ear. I don't know, it was crazy. And then like it hurt right after, but then it felt good. So I don't know. See, man, look at my fingernails too, long as shit. I thought yesterday too, I'm like, man, I should cut my nails before I go to the massage. But I'm just like, fuck it, like, I don't know, that's just what you do when you're depressed. You just don't do anything. I'm like, I don't care, man. I don't fucking care. And I think that's because of the whole purpose thing, man. I think because like when I was in the army, I felt like, man, I'm doing some good shit. And then I get out, I don't really know what's up. And then I get into college and I feel like I'm working towards something. And then I graduate and fucking get these shit ass jobs. And it's like, whatever, like, I thought, like, all right, cool, you know, I got this job, $15 an hour, like, whatever, dude, I'm gonna fucking just grind, get a house, do my thing. And then they fucking let you go. And then you get, like, a short-term contract. And then you get a sales job. And then you get another fucking contract, and they let you go. It's like, fuck, dude, fuck these goddamn contracts, man. And I'm thinking, I just gotta come up with some shit, man. And I have some ideas. And this most recent one that I thought of, I'm like, dude, this is fucking brilliant. I'm gonna make it, I think I'm just gonna say fuck it, make a video. And I'm gonna say it in here, but I also wanna make a short video talking about it because, you know, no one wants to fucking click this shit and watch through all this. But here's the idea. All right, so I got pulled over on the bike. I mentioned that before recently, but I was allowed to take a class. And so I took this class online where I'm watching these. It started out watching these videos of texting and driving. And I don't know, it evolved into like basically classroom learning and stuff like that. And they refresh your memory on some things, but they also remind you about some, some fucking bullshit. Like, you remember when they had those cameras on the freeways, or they had all these speeding cameras and shit, and it's like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, they still have some of those, like speeding cameras or like red light cameras. And I got flashed, I don't know, probably a couple years ago, but I got flashed by a red light camera for speeding. And I was like, what the fuck? Because like I drove through and it was green, but I got flashed, and I was like, what the fuck was that, right? But they gotta serve you, man. That motherfucker came to my door, and I said, nobody home. Nobody home. So that's how it goes, man. I learned my lesson quick, because I had that same shit happen. I don't understand these people. Like, I never had a ticket. Like, damn, bro. Dude, I got a ticket for not using my turn signal, not using my blinker. Like, are you kidding me? I got a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt. Like, how have you not gotten a fucking ticket, man? And the crazy thing, too, is like, that's like little shit, you know? Like, I understand, like, speeding and stuff, but, like, I understand, like, oh, I haven't gotten a ticket for not using my blinker. Like, I understand that, but, like, how have you not gotten a ticket for speeding? Like, damn, you just don't speed? I guess, I don't know. But, yeah, dude, one of the worst tickets that I got was for speeding, and this was when I was in the Army, but I was 17, so I had just, like, finished up basic, finished up training, and moved over to Kansas. And so I got caught speeding, and I was like, I don't remember how fast I was going, but I was speeding, and so he pulled me over, and I got the ticket, and then I want to say that, like, I paid the ticket, and then I got a notice in the mail from Arizona saying, like, yo, like, you paid the ticket, but since you were under 18 and living out of state, you also got to take a class. So that was like a double whammy. I'm like, fuck, this is bullshit. And that shit sucked too, because I had to take a class that, like, if you want to look this up, go ahead. If you know what's up, cool, but you're not gonna know this. So in Kansas, they have Fort Riley, and that's where I was working. And then if you look up Abilene, you're gonna be like, damn, bro, you were living that far away? Like, yeah, no joke. I was living in Abilene, driving to I was driving to the base, and that was like a 45-minute drive. But the shitty thing is, so then I paid that ticket, and I remember I had to go from that base to fucking, I want to say it's Kansas City. I think it is. Like, bro, that shit's so far. Like, dude, if you're looking at this shit on the map, like, just look this up, man. Look up Abilene, Kansas, and then, like, directions to fucking, what is it? Fort Riley. So directions from there to there. It's like 45 minutes. You're like, damn, dude. But then if you look, like, directions from Fort Riley to Kansas City, I want to say that shit's like 2 hours. Like, man, this was just crazy, because I can't remember because like this had to be close to the time that I was getting ready to deploy or something. So because I remember I had my F-150, right, and damn, it's crazy about memory. I just remember like I didn't have my F-150, my wife had it, and I bought this 19, 19 1987. 1987, I think it's 87. 1987 Mazda B2000, I think. Bro, look that truck up. You can be like, damn, dude, like, it's really weird. I bought that truck for, I don't know, let's say $1,200 or something, or $1,500. It was super cheap. But I bought that truck because I let my wife take the other truck. So, like, I don't remember exactly what happened because, like, she wasn't working. But I remember she moved back to Arizona before I deployed because she was going to stay with her parents instead of living in Kansas on her own. So I was like, yeah, just take the truck, and then I'll get like a little hoopty and ride around that hoopty for a while, for like a couple months before I deploy. And so that's what happened. Like but the thing is, like, I wasn't living in Abilene at that time. I'm just saying, like, that's what happened. Like when I first got there, I was living on base when she left, so I had like a on base housing. I had this little hoopty, man, that little A7 Mazda B2000. That shit was dope, dude. Like, it was such a ghetto little piece of shit, but it was so cheap, and it fucking got me where I needed to go, and it was manual, so that was really cool. I liked it. And I was just, yeah, I just enjoyed that truck, and I wish I wouldn't have sold it, man, but I did. And it was cool too because I learned some things on that truck because I had my starter go out and I didn't know like what had happened, but then I got it towed. It was cool, man, because like when I first got there, I was at one unit. I was like up at infantry. I was up at division level at 24th Infantry Division, which we flagged the 1st Infantry Division. But I was like up at the division level, and I volunteered to deploy, and so they sent me down to the battalion level. And so, but I remember like before I deployed, that shit happened with my truck, and my sergeant, like, fuck the battalion, man. Like, those people were dicks, man. Like, they were dicks to me, and I think it's because like I just came in there and like I was new and fresh meat and shit, and they just wanted someone to pick on. But it sucks because like one of the guys was in the same exact fucking class as me. But when he got sent there, and I got sent like up a division. And then I'm like, hey, let me deploy. And it's like, now I'm fucking the new guy or whatever. But basically, everyone there was like same class as me and shit. It's like, fuck you guys, But yeah, I don't know. Like, my peers weren't dicks to me. It was just like the higher level, It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, you guys shouldn't be like this. But anyway, I remember when that shit was going down, my sergeant from like the other one from the division, like, he wasn't even my sergeant anymore, but I just hit him up and he came and helped me out. And he's like, yeah, I think it's your starter. Like, I didn't know anything, but he had like a big old Dodge Ram. And so he was going to tow me to the shop. They have like an on-base shop. So he was going to tow me over there. And so he's like, yeah, as I'm towing you, try popping the clutch. And I did that shit, and it started up, and then I just drove it to the shop. But like, that was kind of where I started to learn, a little more. And that was cool because then I got to the shop, learned how to take the starter out, which it was just like all up in there and stuff. I took the starter out, put a new one in. Took a couple of days, I think probably like 2 days. Because like, I'd go there after work for like an hour, take the starter out, and then, I don't know, probably bought a new one. Next day, put it in, something like that. But, yeah, I remember doing that, and then, like, that truck was good to go. And I just remember that shit was fun, because, like, it snowed in Kansas, and I was cruising around, and I got to the parking lot where the base was, or where the like infantry division, like I think it was 216. Like fuck those guys, man. I mean, maybe they got. I mean, obviously they got new chain of command, but whatever, man. Those guys were dicks. So over at like the parking lot for there, I remember pulling in, and there was a spot where like all the snow had accumulated. Like I don't know if like the truck came through and like pushed it all right there or whatever. But there was one spot where nobody parked because there's so much snow, and I'm like, fuck it. Boom! I ran into the snow and like, I don't know. I pushed like some of the snow away or whatever. But I remember I had to like back up, and I did it again. But I was like, fuck it. Like I don't give a shit. And then I got in there and I parked. And I fucking left too, man. And I think that was a 2-wheel drive truck, but you know, just I think having that control with the clutch and how much like you spin the wheels and stuff. I don't know. I just remember it was fun driving around that little hoopty, but I sold that shit when I went to Iraq. But yeah, so I was talking about that ticket, and like, no joke, I think it was like Kansas City, because I had to drive far, and that's the truck that I drove, that little hoopty. I had to drive over there and fucking do my thing, and then basically paid twice for the ticket, and then got it dismissed. I also got numerous other speeding tickets. Like I said, that no blinker ticket, fucking bullshit. No seatbelt. But yeah, I don't know how people are like, I never got a ticket. I'm trying to be like that now. I'm trying to follow the rules. But it's crazy because the rules are not like really the rules. It's like speed limit 65, but if everyone else is doing 75, you can't be doing 65. Yeah, I don't know. But I was talking about like the purpose, you know? It's like, fuck, dude, I need a purpose. Not like, oh, let me go work this fucking bullshit job. You know, it's like I can't really do that shit because that's something like it. If you get into some bullshit job straight out of high school and you grind, 20 years later, like you could be making decent money, like even less than that. I know someone that got out of high school and he's been working at the same place over 10 years. And like he's making decent money, but it's like I'm not trying to start fresh at the age of 30, you know? I want a fucking real job. And then another thing too is like I got my dog, my service dog. Technically she can go to work with me. But the last place that I worked at, she couldn't because I was in like it's kind of like a clean room, but it was like also ESD, so like electrostatic discharge. I was working with computers and we were basically inspecting inspecting these systems. Like we checked the motherboards and the RAM and stuff like that. So you're touching these internal components, so you had to be grounded. And you know, you couldn't have a fucking dog that's all hairy and shit like that. So she couldn't be at work with me, but I also remember, so like that's one of the things, like I don't want to, like I want to be with my dog, you know, like you break up the day into 8 hours, 8, 16, 24, so you got 3 8-hour chunks. You say 7 days a week, so you got 56, 3 chunks of 56 hours. But one of those 56 hours you're going to be sleeping, right? You're sleeping 8 hours a day. one of those 56 hours is going to be work because you're working 40 hours, but then you got to consider your travel time, you're getting ready and stuff like that. And then you got another 56. And so basically that's what it breaks down to, you know? But when I was working there, it was more intense because like my travel time is like half hour. So that's like an hour. And maybe a little less, but like let's just say an hour, you know, 50 minutes. But then I was also working anywhere from like 8 would be like a short day, and then like 12 would be a long day, and 10 would be a good day because you're getting a good paycheck. But at 10 hours, you know, I was working, you know, I would be working 6-7 days a week, and it'd be like maybe like 9 or 10 for 5 days a week, so you're at like 45, 50 by the end of the week, and then you come on Saturday for like 5 or 6. And I just remember like one of my really good paychecks was when I worked 55 hours, but I was always working over 45. It was like 45 to 55. And I remember thinking like, man, this is just too much, man. Like, I don't know if it's just me, like too much for me to handle, but it was just too intense. And then another shitty thing is like, you know, leaving your dog that long. Like, I would leave my dog 10, 12 hours. And like, yeah, she's fine, I guess. Like, there were some issues because I used to have the doggy door in and let her do her own thing. And then she jumped the fence. You know, I was working for like 2 weeks or something, a week, 2 weeks. And finally she's just like, I don't know where he's at. Like, I don't know if she came looking for me or something, but she jumps the fence. And the fucked up thing is, like, I didn't know how she got out, right? But she gets out, and then I find her. So the first time that she got out, some neighborhood kids brought her back. They're like, yo, is this your dog? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, thanks, you know. They brought her back. That was cool. Second time she got out, fuck, man, I want to say the second time. So I was like, damn, I can't do that, right? So I got to put the little thing in when I leave. So I put the little door in. But then, maybe the second time, like, I forgot to put the door in. I was putting the door in, and I forgot to put the door in. And then they didn't go anywhere. And I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, that's what's up. And then I don't remember. Maybe I forgot to put the door in, but she got out. The second time, I want to say, oh man, I don't fucking know. But one of the times the mail lady, she told me like, oh, hey, she went this way, and I had to fucking go look for her. But I was freaking out. and then there was, so I remember like, I think I forgot to put the door in. But there was the time too where like I had the door in, but with the way like the door is, like the sliding door is, if you have a doggy door, it doesn't latch, right? Like if the door's shut and you latch it to lock it, well, if the dog door is there, it can't like latch, so it doesn't shut or it doesn't lock. And she just basically opened the door, and I'm like, fuck. So she got out like a third time, and I had to find her. And the fucked up thing is like, the neighbors were letting her out, dude. So I didn't find out until later, but basically then she got out a fourth time, but my buddy was home. Like, I don't know if he did it on purpose or something, but he he was home and she got out, and then he had to go look for her, and he found her in the next door neighbor's yard. And so he just opened their gate and grabbed her and brought her back. And I was like, well, what the fuck? So that's when I went and talked to the neighbors, and I'm like, yo, like, what the hell? And they're like, oh, we didn't know it was your dog. And basically what happened is, like, they would get home from work, see this dog in their yard, and let it out. And I'm like, you fucking kidding me? Like, how do you think that dog got there? One of your neighbors, asshole. So basically, I kind of like bitched, but they moved. So, fuck them, you know? And then I lost my job, so now I'm home with her. But it's like, I don't know if I want to be working a 40-hour job, man. That's intense. and I want to spend more time with her. But the cool thing now too is she's not as likely to get out because the new neighbors have dogs next door, so she's not trying to like jump over there and get in a fight or whatever, or get in some like situation she doesn't know. So I don't know. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go put this on my computer again. I'm back. I don't remember what I was talking about. All I know is I transferred the video over to my computer, and then I got hungry, so I'm like, fuck it, let me get some food going. So I preheated the oven, 425. I'm gonna cook some. I got some French fries cooking. Cook those for about 10 minutes. And then I'll throw in some chicken strips and fish sticks. That's gonna be my lunch. But yeah, I'm like, man, I don't want to go back and see what I was talking about to get exactly, like, oh, what was I exactly talking about? I don't know. Like, I remember talking about I have no purpose. That's why I'm feeling depressed. Oh, I was going to talk about an idea that I have. Yeah. I was talking about all those tickets that I got. Yeah, and then I was taking this class. In this class, they tell you all this shit, right? Well, maybe think about those cameras. And so I was like, everybody fucking hates those cameras. But then I thought about an idea where you can use those cameras and people won't fucking mind. Yeah, I'm fucking looking at you. I'm waiting for you to tell me what the motherfucking idea is. Well, you don't know? I thought about it when I was watching that video, and they said that cops will ticket people going 1 over in a school zone. And I was like, well, fuck, use the cameras. Put the cameras in the school zone. Put the cameras on the school bus. And I don't just mean like, hey, I'm looking at the kid. No, I'm talking about that stop sign come out and somebody try to run the stop sign. Like, you got kids running across the street. Can't be running a fucking stop sign when there's a school bus stopped. Like a school bus stop sign, Like maybe you're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, go ahead, run that stop sign or roll through it or something. That's on you though. I mean, I rolled through a stop sign on base, and basically like I come up to the stop sign and I look and I'm like, all right, those cars are far away. I'm gonna go. Well, apparently not, because the cop pulled me over. So he's like, yeah, it's not a yield sign, it's a stop sign. But whatever. I'm like, dude, nobody's gonna argue that shit. Like, I don't know how to get that shit up and running or started, but come on, give me some credit. I was like, fuck, dude, let me get on Shark Tank or something. Tell them about this idea. Who's gonna be like, nah, I don't want cameras protecting our kids. Like, seriously, man, it's a good idea. You got a school bus going around. He puts that stop sign out. You run that stop sign. Flash, flash. You paying money, and that money's going to the schools. Like, that's good. I feel like that's an ingenious idea. You already got a fucking camera on the bus. Just throw some extra cameras on the front and the back. Anytime someone wants to run that stop sign, put those kids' lives in danger, you gonna pay the price. So I feel like that's a good idea. And then, I mean, hell, you could even have them on those little fucking, those little signs that they roll out in the street, or maybe you just have them in the area, You're just like, hey, you gotta slow down. Like, they already have that shit. Like, I see it at places. But I feel like the school bus one, that'd be good. Because, you know, those school bus drivers, they're not making good money. That could help them get more money. And with that, you know, that's cool because the school bus is driving around to all these different neighborhoods. So you can't really have one specific area. But the bus is the area. So I feel like that's a good idea, you know. I want to make a just short video talking about that. And hopefully someone sees it and makes it become a reality, you know, because that probably would save some lives. I don't know how many kids are getting run over by people running the school bus stop sign, but you know, they're probably going slow, so they're not getting killed. But I'm sure people are getting injured, and there's got to be at least one death in the past 5 or 10 years. I don't know if it's one a year, but there's got to be at least one, like, for sure. I remember this kid across the street, he come running across the street, and then his mom called him or something, and he go running back, and he got hit by a car. And I mean, he was running through the street, so it was his fault, I guess. But yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was wild. And then even wilder, man. Fuck this guy's dad, dude. Like, I don't know who this kid is, but his fucking dad's a pedophile. Nasty shit. We didn't know about that. But I remember growing up, like, this guy got locked up, and that's how we knew. And then I remember fucking, yeah, man. I just remember he moved out, and or the family moved out, and that shit was just abandoned. Like, it was some wild shit. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to go into the story too more. I mean, that's dark shit, but that's what you gotta deal with, you know? Some people not right. Like, that's fucking disgusting, man. There's some things that it's like, I don't know, dude. Apparently, like, you can't control it, you know? It's like you're born with it, or it's a disease or something. But I think, like, pedophiles and rapists and shit like that, it's just, I have no empathy for them at all. I remember I was dating this girl, and we broke up, but she told me about she got raped, and I was like, fuck, dude, like, I'll kill that guy. Like, we're not dating, but, you know, I don't got shit going on in my life. Let me go kill this motherfucker. I don't know. I gotta go put some food in the oven. Because, you know, that frozen food is what's good for you. It's good for your health. Damn. Water's good for you. It's basically all I drink now. I go through periods of time where I'll just be drinking soda. Shit's unhealthy, but man, I need a house. I want to get into house flipping. I wish I could. I'm like, well, I understand, like, you know, you can get pre-approved for a loan and get a house, but I don't get how fixing it up works. Like, you got to pay for all that shit up front, or, I mean, you can get a construction loan. I don't know how easy or difficult that is. But man, 11 cash offers. That means you got to have cash to get into this game. I don't know, man. Shit's just making me depressed, and I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know what to talk about. I just want to go lay down. Yeah, when I was putting the food in the oven, I was thinking about this time. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but when we were leaving Iraq, we had a TV that we bought from like the commissary or whatever. And I don't remember how much it cost, but we're trying to sell it to the next people. And they were just like, nah, we're not trying to buy it. Or they wanted to pay like $20 or something. And we're like, fuck you, man. We'd rather just destroy this. And so we actually like took the TV, we got up on top of this bunker, and we just dropped that bitch to the ground and smashed it. And we're like, fuck you guys. And they watched us do that shit too. And we're like, fuck you guys, man. We're just gonna smash this shit. I don't know why I was thinking about that, but that shit came up. Yeah, so I paused the video for a minute. I'm like, fuck, dude, I have nothing. I don't know what to talk about. I'm just thinking about being sad, having no life. I'm like, fuck, dude. What's up, dog? Take this guy camping. You want to go camping? Yeah, you want to go camping? I don't think he knows what camping is. But yeah, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and so I'm going to go to that. And I haven't decided if I'm going to dip out tomorrow or Friday or what, but I'm thinking I'm going to go somewhere and just do a little bit of truck camping, you know. Maybe I'll sleep out of my truck. It's kind of small. I wish I was. No, I don't wish that. It was like I wish I was smaller, but I always wish I was taller. I'm like 6 foot, but I'm trying to be like 6'3", 6'4". You know, you're big. I'm not big enough. No, I'm big enough, but you know, I could be bigger. But it's just tight in that truck. So I'm like, I don't know if I'll sleep in there. I've seen some pretty cool tents that go in the back of your truck. I saw this really cool one where there's a tent and then there's like kind of like a hole. Like there's a tent on the ground and then there's a hole that leads up to another part that's in the bed of your truck. And so basically you have kind of like that living room area, and then you can go sleep in like an air mattress in the bed of your truck. And there's air mattresses made specifically to fit the bed of a truck, so they have like the wheel well cut out in the mattress or whatever. So that's cool. But I'm not trying to spend money, like all that type of money, you know. But those are cool products, you know. I'm like, I got an air mattress. Maybe I'll just blow it up and see if it fits in the bed, or maybe I'll just have it like lopsided or something, or maybe I'll just sleep on the ground. I don't know. I'm thinking I just gotta get out with nature. Take my dog. I want to take my dog. That's a big reason too. Just get her out. But it's like, man, I took him for a walk like those 3 days, and my leg was hurting. And so I stopped. I think it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then so I stopped like Sunday and Monday. And then I got a massage yesterday, Tuesday. And the weird thing is, like, she started massaging my right leg, and then I could feel it like on my left leg. And then my left leg was just hurting for a long time. And now it's not hurting as bad, but it's like, what the fuck, man? It's so weird. I don't know what the fuck I did. But how's that shit still fucked up, man? I used to hike Camelback, and I'd just be like, I used to have, I don't know, my legs didn't have really issues. Like my right leg kind of had issues, but it was so rare. It was a couple times a year. And I have my theories about that, just how my right side's fucked up from the motorcycle accident. Yeah, so I paused this video, but I was like, fuck, I just need to force myself to talk about something. But I'm also using it as the timer for the food, so I should probably go check on that. Damn, that shit's hot. I'm starting to hear the fucking leaf blowers in the background too. Like I said, I'm living with my buddy, and so he lives in an HOA, and so they come through cleaning the streets and stuff sometimes. So I don't know if that's what they're doing. It probably is, so I might have to pause this for a while, but yeah, it's definitely coming through. Damn, he's not even like outside my house yet, but that's pretty loud, huh? Damn, he's like one house away. That's still loud. Damn, he's like right there. Which is loud.